Good day, everyone. I am Zerlin A. Gonzalo, your mathematics teacher. Our lesson for today is illustrating triangle congruence. Our lesson objectives are the following. You learners will be able to identify the corresponding parts of congruent triangles, define congruent triangles, illustrate triangle congruence, and demonstrate appreciation on how important congruent triangles in our surroundings. The following are the learning resources and references. The materials that we need are the following: protractor, ruler, board, tape, scissors, bond paper, manila or cartolina, paper, and pen. Let's start our lesson for today. You will be divided into 4 groups. Each group will be given a task. See attached rubrics. You need to do the task in 3 minutes. Are you ready? Okay, timer starts now. Now post the instructional materials on the board. Be ready to present the activity and your answer. To those at home, you may pause the video and try to answer the activities too. We have 8 unknown words in this activity. These words were given hint at the right side, across, and down. These words are essential to understand our lesson today. We already encountered these words in our previous lesson, in algebra, and in your grade 7 lessons too. Group 1, share now your answers. Take your time. Let's start with the across. 2. A corner or a point where lines meet. Try to understand the given. Try to imagine. Again, number 2, that is correct, vertex. Number 3, appear in the same place in 2 similar situations. Appear in the same place in 2 similar situations. That is correspond, correct. 5, a piece or part of a line having 2 endpoints. A piece or part of a line having 2 endpoints. The word is segments. The space between 2 intersecting lines. That is angle. Edge. What is the synonym or the same word for edge? That is side. Down. 1, identical and equal in form. The word is congruent. 4, 3-sided polygon. The word is triangle, correct. And not lying or acting in the same straight line. Not lying or acting in the same straight line. The word is non-collinear. Ang mga salitang ito ay kailangan nating maintindihan, kailangan nating alalahanin dahil sila ay nakakatulong para mas lalo pa nating maintindihan ang lesson ngayon. Thank you, Group 1. Now let's have Group 2. Are you ready? Task of Group 2. Each of you have a shape. Find your partner by matching the shape that you have with another's shape. Answer also the given questions. Okay, ready, Group 2? How many pairs do we have? We have 4 pairs of shapes. You found your partner by matching the shapes. Now, describe the two figures you have. What do you think is the main idea of the game? Cite the things that are congruent with each other. Yes, the figures are identical in form. They match or agree almost exactly or have a close similarity. There are many structures in our surroundings with the same size and shape. We should appreciate them. We should realize their importance. Things that are congruent are paper bills, coins of the same denomination, original and duplicate keys, CD tapes, and many more. Congruence is used in the mass production of various products. Thank you, Group 2. Now let's proceed to task of Group 3. From the picture shown, your group will answer the following questions. 1. Are you familiar with the pictures? Have you been to those places? 2. What have you observed that are common to all the illustrations? Are there triangles in the structure? Are the triangles of each picture the same or equal? Thus, the triangles made important role to the given structures? Why or why not? Yes, we are familiar with the pictures, and yes, we've been to those places. The pictures have triangles, and yes, there are many triangles in the structure. Yes, some are equal with each other. Triangles are effective tools for architecture and are used in the design of building and other structures as they provide strength and stability. Let us review the definition of a triangle. Answer the following questions. How do you define triangle? How do we name a triangle? What are the basic parts of a triangle? Triangle is a figure formed by three segments joining three non-collinear points. We name the triangle by using the symbol, followed by three letters representing the non-collinear points. We can name the triangle by using the vertices. What are the basic parts of a triangle? They are vertices. These are the three corners of the triangle determined by the three non-collinear points. Sides. These are the three segments whose endpoints are the three vertices of the triangle. Angle. The union of rays determined by a pair of non-collinear sides of the triangle. By looking at the figure, name the triangle, sides, and vertices. We can name the triangle by using the triangle symbol and the three letters indicated in each corner. It's up to us in which direction we're going to start, clockwise or counterclockwise. This triangle will be named triangle SON, triangle ONS, or triangle NSO, or triangle OSN, or triangle SNO, or triangle NOS. The three sides are side or line segment OS or SO, line segment SN or NS, line segment ON or NO. The vertices are S, O, and N. The angles are angle S, O, and N, or we can name the angle by using the three letters. Now let us proceed to task of group 4. Place the numbered tangram pieces to complete the puzzle and answer the questions. Why or how did you choose the pieces and complete the puzzle? What can you say about the size and the shape of the tangram pieces and its frame? We say that congruent figures have the same size and the same shape. How will you verify that you have congruent figures? So, we have here the answer. Nakita nyo na kung saan napunta si 4, si 6, 1, 3, 5, and 2. Now, let's answer the questions. How did you choose the pieces and complete the puzzle? The players, or you, search for the tangram piece that is exactly similar to the space on the tangram board, or that is congruent to it. The tangram pieces and its frame are equal in measure of sides and angles. We say that congruent figures have the same size and the same shape because they match. By measuring and matching or overlapping the figures. If they fit, then they are congruent. Let us further our learning on correspondence and triangle congruence. Correspondence means pairing and matching of sides, angles, and the whole figure. We use the symbol for the correspondence. The symbol for correspondence is that it is read as corresponds to. Example, segment AB corresponds to line segment DE. Angle A corresponds to angle D. Given here are two triangles. Now, how are we going to prove that these triangles are congruent? Ano ang ating gagawin? We are going to get the match sides and the match angles. Paano natin gagawin? We can overlap the first or the second figure to each other. Now, kitang-kita na natin na dito magkamukha na ang dalawang triangle. Inayos na overlap natin, kaya ito ang naging kalabasan. So we have triangle ABC that can be mapped to triangle DEF. And the correspondents are corresponding angles. Angle A corresponds to angle D. Kung titingnan natin ang dalawang ito, si A at saka si D, magkatugma at halos magkapareho o talagang magkapareho ang kanilang posisyon. Angle B corresponds to angle E. Angle C corresponds to angle F. Corresponding sides. Line segment AB corresponds to line segment DE. Side BC corresponds to side EF. Side AC corresponds to side DF. So, kailan natin masasabi na ang dalawang triangles ay magkatunga at magkapareho? By CPCTC, two triangles are congruent if and only if all of their corresponding parts are congruent. The corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Another example. Supply the missing part of the triangle that will make each correspondence complete. Name also the congruent triangles. We can make a markings to each corresponding sides and angles, corresponding sides and angles, para hindi tayo malito. Corresponding sides and angles should have the same markings. Corresponding vertices. Point A corresponds to point D. Point B corresponds to point E. Point C corresponds to point F. The corresponding angles are: angle A corresponds to angle B. Angle B corresponds to angle E. Angle C corresponds to angle F. Corresponding sides are: line segment AB corresponds to line segment DE. Line segment AC corresponds to line segment DF. Line segment BC corresponds to line segment EF. And the congruent triangles are triangle ABC congruent to triangle DEF. Or we can name the congruent triangles BCA congruent to triangle EFD and alike. When we can say that the two triangles are congruent, how many pairs of corresponding parts if given two triangles are congruent? Who wants to answer? Yes, two triangles are congruent if and only if their vertices can be paired so that corresponding sides are congruent and corresponding angles are congruent. By CPCTC, that means corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. How many pairs? Can you still recall? Based on the different examples? Yes, we have 6 pairs. 3 pairs for corresponding angles and 3 pairs for corresponding sides. Do you have clarifications? Questions? Let us go back to Group 3's task. What can you say about the long bridge and the building? Why are there triangles in the structures? Why are bridges and buildings stable? There are presences of congruent triangles. The congruent triangles help the structure to be more stable. And because the congruent triangles and other congruent figures maintains the balance of the bridges and the buildings. What you have learned. Pumili lang kayo sa dalawa. Una, answer each question in the diagram. Consider the figure at the center. Write your answer on a separate sheet of paper. Or, you may illustrate triangle congruence by creating your own example. You may use the figure in number 1 as your guide. You may use also your ruler and protractor. Assessment. Multiple choice. Choose the letter of the correct answer. Write the chosen letter on your sheet. Very good. Assignment. You will be grouped into 10. Each group should make a 3 to 5 minutes video on what you have learned today. Make emphasis on the importance of a triangle congruence in real-life situations. You can cite and show different images where we can find its applications. We have here the rubrics. Video presentation rubric. Thank you, everyone.
So, running a short group, the teacher will use it with very clear words. As he discusses the procedure, she try to make it sure that the learning environment is very conducive to making the presentation very friendly and visible to the students. And then, in the motivation to apply some of the topics in language which is beyond their area of specialization. Itong vocabulary, then the for the teachers very confident in building the logic of Angas. That only shows her expertise besides she uses strategies which is appropriate to the lesson and appropriate to the students' interest based on different examples. So this kind of concept of Angas and triangle congruence, she has a wider understanding of the topic, which clearly emphasizes the topic. And in giving assignments, clearly due to instruction with mukha na siya ng support ito sa mga meeting. Saan?
Ano siyang i-picturean, sir?
Yes,